Have you ever dropped $1.5 million into a river?
Oh, let me think. No, not specifically into a river, no.
Okay.
So
where's the best place you've dropped $1.5 million?
Well, it's, it's wherever. I mean, if you have 1.5 million to drop and not worry about it, I don't think you're too concerned where you drop it. But
well, I mean, if you owned a $1.5 million floating home prototype that was on the river and then it just sank into the water and the grand unveiling.
I would call that a shitty prototype. I think your prototype has failed, sir. Yeah, I'm not going to have too much confidence in a $1.5 million home that sinks on its unveiling. So, yeah, business.
Well, it was called the Sea Pod. It was expected to take the floating home to a whole new level.
Okay.
According to Ocean Builder's website, the Sea Pod had 3 half floors and more than 300 square feet of living space, all housed around 7.5 feet above the wave. They use air-filled steel tubes that makes it buoyant and pushes the entire Sea Pod up 3 meters above the water. Except it didn't work.
That's a bit of a problem right there. This great idea. Does it work? No.
And even more awkward, there were people on the thing when it was happening, so that they'll run to.
Oh man, yeah, that's a bit of a problem if you're going to try and convince people to live in this thing, and then it doesn't work. It like sinks into the water. Yeah, they probably should have done like slowly tested smaller and like models and like got gradually bigger until they had one that's big enough to actually live in.
Or just don't like.
Yeah,
really
that's
looking
the other
for a Sea Pod.
the other way of doing it. Just like, no, it's fine.
Well, what's the spending? Yeah. Speaking of wasting money, what's the most that you've ever spent on a pint?
On a pint? Well, thinking of places I've been that's expensive. So LA is quite expensive. I think something like $12 or $13, something like that out there. Yeah, something like that probably.
Well, you could have bought close to 300. Wait, no, 30 for that price here. At least a West Ham supporter paid £435 and 60 pence for 1 pint.
For 1 pint of what?
Well, it turns out it was an OnlyFans thing, and
was it bathwater from some celebrity OnlyFans page?
it wasn't bathwater; it was a smother liquid.
Ooh.
Instead of being billed £6 60 pence, an IT glitch charged him for 66.
Okay.
66 pints. And it actually put him into overdraft.
That's an extra $20 you're not going to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, was it a glitch or did someone just fucking hate this dude and charge him that much? But I feel.
Or what if you wanted to buy 66 pints, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically. And
because it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
You're just happy it's Tuesday. Yeah, I get you.
And yeah, let's just say that you didn't want to pay for 66 pints. So you order 66, then the next day you say there was an IT glitch. I did not order that many. How was I charged so much?
Yeah.
Prove that I had that much.
There's also a thing to be aware of. That only works the first 2 or 3 times you try it, and then they cop on and they're like, no, you can't do that anymore. Every time you order something, you say the same shit.
Last week you ordered 100. No, like I swear, every time I do this, it must be my bank. It must be my card. And the glitch must be to do with me. Yeah. Not my fault.
Yeah, it's a great life hack to buy anything with your debit card or credit card and call up the bank 3 days later and be like, what's this charge? Like,
I only had one.
Yeah. I mean, don't even, not just in the pub, like go buy a Mercedes. You put a sticker on your credit
66 card. Mercedes.
No, just buy one. Don't be greedy. Just buy one. But like, one of the like max it all.
But the problem is that you're going to have to explain if you have a legitimate charge.
Yeah.
So you've actually bought a car. Mercedes are going to say, well, we did sell this person a car. But if you said, I bought a car, I didn't buy 66 cars. Now, probably in the case of a car, it's going to be too much, and Mercedes would notice that you did, in fact, take 65 more cars.
But I guess a car is probably, it's not going to work on that.
In the case of pints in a bar, right?
Yeah.
The bartender's not going to remember. It's probably not even going to reach them. The manager's probably just going to go, well, yeah, okay, well, there was a glitch. Who orders 66 pints in one go? And then, bada bing, bada boom, you get 65 free pints.
That is true. So anyway, still though, you can call up and be like, I didn't make that charge. The bank will give you your money back for your 66 points.
I doubt they're going to give you your money back on 66 cars though.
Not on cars, no. Perhaps a bad example, but other things. But yeah, points is a great example. What you could do is just go out and be Mr. fucking Big Shot and be like, I'm buying everybody drinks, and just order shitloads of drinks for everybody, and then be like, that wasn't me. No, I didn't do that.
I only bought one.
Yeah, I was there by myself reading my book in the corner. So why were you at Stringer's Strip Club? Just sitting in the corner reading. I wasn't buying lap dances all day. 66 lap dances. That's crazy.
I think that actually buying it for the other people and saying that this is my round, you guys all need to buy me one back. Then you can also say, well, I only had the one. Look at this. You can't say that I bought it for everyone. And who would buy a beer for everyone? It was definitely not me. So I bought my one and you charged me for everyone.
Yeah.
You are, in fact, the people running the scam, not me.
Good point. Good point, indeed.
But it doesn't work if it's a quiet, empty pub that's like a family-owned business. You're probably going to notice.
Yeah, they might notice, I think.
You need a busy sporting event or something like that.
Yeah. Good little scam to get going, to be honest. So, I'd like to buy out all of your beer, please.
I'll buy you all a beer, but you've got to buy me all one back.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good plan.
Well, what rules do you have on your private jet?
On my private jet, it's quite liberal. You can pretty much do whatever you want, but no butt stuff. So that's all.
Okay. Squirt everywhere though.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I got people to clean it up. It's all good.
Well, Kim Kardashian has strict rules to fly on her $150 million private jet.
Very good. Yeah, I approve of that, Kim. That's the way it should be. On your plane, not on mine. But yeah, whatever.
She has strict rules to keep her custom aircraft pristine. She says when she told her sister via FaceTime that she was going to get a spray tan before their flight. So this article is terribly written. She said, a spray tan before my flight. No, it's a 3-hour one. So I sit in it for 3 hours and then shower it off. So the article, instead, this amazing journalism from page 6, they forgot to explain who she's talking to and the context of it, and just say that as if she's talking to herself almost. But anyway, so she won't let her sister, I guess, fly after taking a fake tan. because she has cashmere seats. And you can't get spray tan on the cashmere seats. So no spray tan on her planes.
Okay. I've got a new business. It is selling seat covers to private jet owners. Kim, hit me up. I can sort you out. Get all the different options.
Pre-stained. I stained them in advance for you, so you don't have to worry about them.
This stain is just for you.
Why is it white?
Do not worry. It was made with love. I mean, look, it's
tan. No, that's another brown substance.
If you want, I'll show you how it's made. I think, look, how much did you say the plane was? Like $150 million or something?
Yeah, customized.
Yeah, fuck that. You're not getting on with spray tan on my fucking plane that costs $150 million. Fuck that. Like, yeah. I want to keep the resale value high, so.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to eat pasta before you go either.
Why?
I don't know, because they're going to Italy and you're not allowed to eat it on the way.
I mean, how are you going to be? Is there like a checklist before, like on the, in some countries you arrive?
Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to wear your shoes on the plane either. You know how in like some places they give you their own slippers to wear? Well, she has custom slippers that you have to wear.
All right. That's okay. I don't mind that. It's the pasta thing though. I'm like, how are you going to know if I ate pasta? And like, are you going to turn me away from the plane? You invited me, Kim. What's going on? Like you. I don't know. I think Kim Kardashian should invite us onto her private plane so we can do an episode of the show from there, and we can talk about the rules.
I think if this gets 50 million likes, she would have to let us.
52.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Well, now you're being pushy. 52.
Yeah. So I think she's. I mean, what else? What else has she got? What are the rules? Are those what we've got?
None, sadly, that we know of.
Okay. No spray tans, no pasta, and wear slippers. I mean, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. I mean,
no rules about violent diarrhea though. So
yeah, I mean, like I don't usually get a spray tan just before going on a plane. It's usually like a few days beforehand, so that's probably fine. And yeah, I mean, I'm just going to eat pasta and tell her I didn't. So it's all good.
Yeah. Well, when we start bringing guests on like Miss Kardashian, we're going to have to start bringing in new screening processes the same way that chess has.
Okay.
So after the controversy of the previous chess treating scandal with the anal beads, security have now taken it to actually screen to see if there might be anything inserted into his anus. So on our next episode with Kim Kardashian, we're going to have to screen her anus.
I mean, that's... I think there might be videos of that already online, but hey, that's a thing. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people will not want to be guests on the show if that's something we're doing.
Yeah, you need to rock up about 10 minutes early because we have a very thorough screening process. Never be too safe. So we're going to have to...
Yeah.
Like you on movies and TV when they do the prison searches where they make them squat naked in front of a person with gloves. Well, it's a new part of podcast guest protocol.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems reasonable enough, for the podcast. It's got to be safe, as you say.
Yeah, we can't trust that someone might say the wrong thing, so.
Sure, exactly. We don't want to get cancelled again.
Yes, again. Well, I want to put the rumors to bed that we've not been intimate. We are just podcast hosts. Unlike, apparently, Mick Jagger and his Rolling Stone bandmate, Keith Richards.
Okay.
So, a bombshell claim made in the new book titled The Stone Age, 60 Years of the Rolling Stones, was made that Jagger and Richards had been intimate. And that he'd been close to other bandmate Mick Taylor, and also other bandmate Ronnie Wood. So,
all right. So Mick Jagger's basically turning his band into a harem of people he's sleeping with or being.
Well, they were at some point.
Yeah. So I don't know. Sounds like a great line to sell a book on. Wait till you hear all the gay sex stuff in this book. Tell us now.
Gay, bisexual.
In the book.
They're not.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
He's a bisexual icon. He was branded by writer Leslie Ann Jones in her new book. But it happened in the early days, not now.
Okay. Well, then there you go. Keith Richards probably doesn't remember, so he can't corroborate the story.
From 1969 to 1974. Yes.
Well, there you go. I mean, brings whole new meaning to sticky fingers. But there you go.
And the moves like Jagger as well.
Yeah, exactly. What moves?
The kind that bandmates can only experience.
Interesting. Well, you're on the road, you're in a tour bus, maybe it's a van, and because the early days you're not like super popular yet. It's cold. You start like sleeping closer together, then you're accidentally bumming them. That's what happens. So,
well, Anita Pallenberg, the band's former muse and longtime partner of Richards, is quoted in the book. She explicitly referenced the secret connection between Jagger and Richards before her death in 2017. From when I first met them, she claimed, I saw Mick was in love with Keith.
Oh.
Now, unfortunately, she's dead, so no one can corroborate that she did say that. So this is the ultimate way to write a book is, there was a woman who was traveling with them who's now dead who told me that, they'd been doing it.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like I could write that book and be like, I met this lady. She told me. Nobody can prove she didn't. And I didn't
because
meet her
she is dead, but she was.
She can't be like, I never met this Dave guy in my life. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. But again, I don't not believe it at the same time. It's kind of one of those things that could be true, but I don't know.
Bon Scott told me that back in the day, they used to have wild orgies.
He did. He told both of us that over lunch 3 weeks ago.
Rolling Stones were a bukkake party. And every time they would bring in a new bandmate, they had to be initiated into the bukkake.
Actually, it was the Rolling Stones who imported that from Japan to Europe.
Bukkake?
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't a thing in Europe until the Rolling Stones went to Japan, came back. So there you go. Little known fact right there.
Some say they're an important band in history, but others say that their musical talents are irrelevant compared to the culture that they brought back from Asia of bukkakes.
Exactly. It's where would we be without that? So I don't know.
Some say that they started the spread of monkeypox.
Oh, we're getting sued.
Some say. Now, who is that Tommy? Was it a homeless guy I heard on the street who was rambling to himself? Possibly.
We'll never know.
I'm not going to disclose my sources.
Probably wise, yeah.
I just want to say that Bon Scott, though, corroborated it with me.
He did. I was there. I saw that. Yeah.
Even though he died before I was born, but whatever.
Died. Yeah.
Yeah. On that secret island with Tupac, he look, I don't want to be the person to break the news, but did Tupac go into hiding because he was in a homosexual relationship with Bon Scott, who was also already in hiding and was a closet homosexual as well? I'm not going to say it, but
I'm not even going to say one word about that. The camera froze, the microphone froze. I didn't hear a word. I don't know. Please do not come after me, all the people out there.
So this woman said, I had an inkling that there was a sexual undercurrent between them. She's quoted in the book. I knew in some part of my head that Mick was bisexual. It doesn't. So basically the book is about like all their different lovers that they had, including flings between bandmates.
People are going to be listening to songs and being like, which one's about the time they all had a big Rolling Stones orgy with each other?
Yeah. Ooh, is this one? Ooh, what are they referencing here?
Yeah.
Sympathy for the devil.
Oh yeah, that's definitely one right there.
Brown Sugar was actually about scat play.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Look, I don't want to be the one to break the news, but Brown Sugar, the whole song, scat play.
I never listened to that song in the same way ever again. Now that I know for sure.
He's certainly Brown Sugar, how come you taste so good? Now they do say just like a young girl should, but that was to throw people off the scent.
Of course. I mean, it's just smart. So
yeah, you should have heard him just around midnight. So I think that it's important to note that like they'd written that part and then had to like fill in the rest of it to like hide the fact that they were talking about, their gay love.
As I said, there's a whole new world of lyrical meaning opening up in this podcast. But yeah, oh my God, Spotify playlists are going to be different from now on.
I'm no schoolboy, but I know what I like. You should have heard them just around midnight.
Now, you see, when you break it all down and you know the backstory, it makes so much sense. Why did we not know this before?
Yeah, it says, no, I bet your mama was a 10-show queen. Now, I believe that they had to put in mama to, again, throw things off. And all her boyfriends were Sweet 16. Now, who refers to men as Sweet 16?
The Rolling Stones, apparently.
Yeah. So
interesting. This is conspiracy theories are coming to life in this one. So there we go.
There we go. Brown Sugar, all about scat play. In addition to the alleged flings between Jagger and his bandmates, the book also includes the long-running allegation that Mick had a tryst with David Bowie. Which has been a long thing that's been out there.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Time, yeah.
Now, David Bowie did tell you some interesting insight.
He swore me to secrecy, so.
Well, it's about time you come out and tell us.
I mean, I don't think you tell him. I don't know. I don't think I can. It brings back such memories.
Well, I think the song Heroes was actually about homosexual love between him and Mick.
What? It's all coming together. Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
I will be king and you will be queen. See, they're sending out their their relationship roles. We can beat them.
Oh,
what will they be beating?
Oh well, that's the thing.
You can be mean, and I'll drink all the time, 'cause we're lovers, and that is a fact. See? Yes, we're lovers, and that is that. Though nothing will keep us together. Because again, this actually starts to read like
it does. When you look at it from a certain angle, it starts to read like it. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing will keep us together. We can beat them forever and ever. It's yeah. I can remember standing by the wall and the guns shot above our heads. So that sounds like them getting threatened by other people. And we kissed as though nothing could fall. This song is clearly about, and the shame was on the other side. Oh, we beat them. Forever and ever. This is like a secret I want to come out of and tell people about how our secret love.
Well, now that we've discovered this, it has changed so much.
Let's dance. Well. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. So clearly we know who was wearing the red shoes. Probably from the foot play that they were into.
Just, I can already feel the backlash for this episode.
To the song they're playing on the radio. Well, what song would they have been playing on the radio, eh? Bit of Rolling Stones?
Perhaps.
If you say run, I'll run with you. And if you say hide, we'll hide. Because my love for you would break my heart in two if you should fall into my arms and tremble like a flower. Now, all of his songs seem to be about forbidden love.
One or two, yeah.
So I think that we stumbled onto something here.
I mean, we often do stumble onto things. But yeah, we might have cracked another one. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I proof's all in the pudding. It goes on to say, of all of Mick's relationships, Marianne Faithful, 75, has said in the past, the only one that really means anything to him is with Keith. So in another book, so it says that band members caught Mick and Keith dozing in bed together.
I mean, they should have been 5 minutes earlier. They would have seen something else,
Yeah, but I mean, if they slept in the same bed, I mean, yeah, one of them is clearly a wild drug addict that...
What? Which one?
Mick Jagger.
Okay.
Richards was rumored to have caused a fight with Jagger by saying in 2010 that Mick had a tiny todger. So in his autobiography, apparently he did say that, and that they, but then they patched it up.
I mean, it's probably not something you want to put about one of your pals in your autobiography. Like, Chapter 12. Who has a small cock?
All the people in my life with small penises. Here we go.
And how I know and what happened. Wow.
It does say that now he is quoted as saying, "Mick and I live off the fire between us," he told Wall Street Journal. "We were made for each other. It's like putting on an old glove, man, you know." So
there's a lot of fuel being added to this fire. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think that we can safely say that David Bowie did come out to you at one point.
I mean, I have to keep it quiet, but you know, I was told in confidence. But you know, we'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff online about him. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
This is a great time of year, though, because people coming out with these books to sell for Christmas, and then you get these like remarks to try and sell them. But,
read about Mick Jagger's tiny penis and the gay love that he had, as documented by a woman who's unfortunately now dead, but we can't ask her.
It's all in the book, though. So, yeah, 100%. It's all there.
She definitely told me that they look, the Queen did open up to me and tell me that Prince William does have a tiny pecker.
Yeah. we are in so much trouble already with the British royalty. Well, like the next time I go over to the UK, I'm scared they're going to be like, "You are selected for random extra screening." Shit.
You get the chest treatment. Now, another common topic is best reason to cheat. And since we're asked every time, I don't think I'll ask again, but we probably have a new contender for best excuse for cheating.
Okay.
A husband slept with his co-worker and told his wife it was because his colleague dared him to.
I mean,
pretty justified reason.
I mean, was it a double dare or just I mean, if he was like no and they were like double dare you, it's kind of hard to resist that one. You've kind of got to do it then. So,
yeah, he came forward and confessed about it. He said it happened 4 months ago. His new female co-worker was harassing him at work and being all flirty over chatty with him. He said he tried so hard to draw the line with her, put an end to her harassing texts and comments, but then he said she cornered him and dared him to sleep with her. I'm just going to go out and say it, completely justified. But poor guy.
Wait a second. The woman he slept with dared him to sleep with her?
Yeah.
Did this actually happen, or did this guy just make this shit up? Because I don't know. It sounds like a Pornhub video.
Why would he even confess? Like, my God.
He had the most lucid dream where he was like, women are coming up to me and daring me to sleep with them. And then he did it in a dream, and then he confessed to it and ruined his marriage.
Well, she kept nagging him, saying he couldn't handle her if he tried. He said he didn't know. He didn't know how and why he acted the way he did, but said that she pushed a button in him and he let her get in his head. He said that the very same day, he found himself in her place and one thing led to another and it just happened. He swore he had no control over what he did and that he, in that moment, felt like he wasn't himself and now he's deep in guilt.
I feel like if you find yourself in that lady's place, you know how you got there. You know why you went there.
He was dead.
This is just dude wanted to sleep with this woman. That's all that happened there. And then when she dared him, he was like, all right, then let's do it. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, man, you got to not have a conscience where you're going to like 3 months later be like, I'm so guilty, I shouldn't have done it. But she did dare me, so.
It wasn't me, though. I don't feel like it was me. I wasn't in control.
Yeah, I don't think that I should be blamed because I was dared. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's my new excuse for everything. Sorry I was speeding, officer. He dared me. Yeah.
You dickhead. Sorry, he also dared me to say that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, man.
Now, what's the best reason to lose your license for dangerous driving?
Has it got something to do with being on a dare?
I guess this could possibly have something to do with that, but no. A woman lost her license after she caused the car to crash while she was giving a blowjob to the driver. So this happened in New Zealand, and it does seem odd that if you're not driving, to get dangerous driving charges. Yeah. So she wasn't actually driving the car. She was still charged with dangerous driving due to performing the sex act in the lead up to the crash. According to the outlet, the judge told her that you contributed to him losing control of the car and crashing through a farm fence. She admitted to the two charges. Separate charges, including driving while disqualified and drink driving, were dismissed. Imagine getting drink driving charges when you're not driving. She was charged after cops showed up at just before midnight following the crash, and she was in the passenger's seat and the guy was driving. However, shortly after the accident, he fled the scene, and residents contacted the police about her, who was intoxicated while asking for help in an abusive manner. So
what? I mean, if you're asking for help, try not to be abusive, I think.
Especially when they smell dick on your breath and you've got
of course.
When the police found her, they instructed her to take a breathalyzer and found that she was 3 times the legal limit. She gave authorities a false name and informed them that she was not the one driving. While appearing in court the following month, she pleaded not guilty as her lawyer contacted police to notify them that the guy was driving, which he admitted in court. She got 3.5 months in prison.
Wow.
But then it got whatever worked down to be community service. But the weird thing in this is, how do they know that she was giving a blowjob if that was the case? Unless the guys come out and said, no.
The guys come out and been like, yeah, this is what happened. She was giving me head and I lost control for a minute. Sorry.
Instead of coming up with some like, I felt my heart and that's why I crashed. And
yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do if you're in court, is like, well, I was getting a blowjob at the time. That's why this thing happened. So, yeah. On a dare.
Yeah, I mean, the judge did say she began to perform oral sex on him, which caused him to lose control of the vehicle and crash through a farm fence, which was a quote from the judge. But it doesn't say how they came to be.
Do you know that's how every car accident involving a farm fence being the damage. That's how it happens every time. So
I feel like they deserve their criminal charges for not being smart enough to come up with a decent story.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, like, unless they were, and they only caused $162.50 New Zealand of damage to the fence.
Okay, all right.
And the guy who was driving only got 6 months disqualification and a $750 fine.
I don't think you should get disqualified for getting some head. I mean, you shouldn't be driving while that's happening, but still, I mean, he's still getting a bro award, so he shouldn't.
Well, it's very obvious that he was also drunk because he got away, right? And then they've worked out, okay, well, she wasn't the one driving. Or in an alternative world, she was the one who actually drove, and then they had to come up with a reason of what happened. And somehow they've come up with the idea of, oh, no, I wasn't driving. I was doing this instead.
How could I have been driving? Explain that to me. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Imagine, that was her thing. Like, how could I possibly have been driving? Smell my breath.
Yeah, I feel like that's not a reasonable, but it's definitely like an explanation as to their excuse and how they found out about it and everything. So,
I mean, it is possible the guy wasn't even there. Yeah. I mean, hypothetically, because he's pleaded to it, they've both pleaded to this is what happened in court and whatever. But because the official story is the guy left, and this is what has been charged and found in court, but things that have been found in court have also been proven to be wrong in the past. So hypothetically, this guy did nothing, right? And then she's drunk driving, shit-faced, gets caught, lies to the police, and then has to come up with a thing. And so somehow they come up with the idea of saying, yeah, actually the reason why this happened was, and then that would therefore make it her fault as to why the crash happened, not his. And so he got a lesser punishment. And because he's a trooper, he's taken the 6 months of disqualification.
I mean, he's guaranteed lots of head for the rest of his life now because of that. So that is probably why he did. He stepped in and was like, fine, I'll take the 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that awkward situation of when he's driving and then he hits a fence and then they've got to run out and whatever. And
yeah. So what happened here? Well,
yeah. Well, then also like she's completely drunk and told the police whatever. So then now they have to live up to. She's come up with like this crazy story while she's completely blackout drunk, and then they have to then justify, yes, that is what happened, because if they don't, then she lied to the police and what actually happened was worse, and then she gets like a serious jail time. Because like if they were giving her a jail sentence for this thing, then if she actually was driving and whatever, then it would have been a more serious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, moral of the story is come up with better stories.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Think everything through.
Because technically there would be no proof that she did anything wrong.
Yeah, true.
Because she's allowed to be as drunk as she wants in the passenger seat.
True. That's very true.
So yeah, massive mistake. Well, we've raised some problems with the royal family before.
Once or twice, yeah.
But you may take offense to this one.
Oh.
Well, Prince William has been dethroned as world's hottest bald man. It's now Vin Diesel.
No, it's not. I don't know. I don't feel like Vin Diesel is up there anymore. I mean, there's me, there's Jason Statham. I mean, we're the usual two people go with. The Rock is another one who's quite popular with the ladies. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not buying it. Vin Diesel. What's this, like 2008? No, thank you.
Well, on a related note, now you were once a 35-year-old virgin.
Correct. Yes. 35. Yes.
Well, this woman says men are scared off when they learn I still have my V card. 35-year-old virgin opens up about her struggle to find the one.
Oh.
Admitting guys often ghost her when she tells them she's waiting for marriage.
It's the marriage part that's scaring them off, love, not anything else. But, you know, I believe most supermodels have this problem. They're saving themselves for marriage, and dudes are like, it's like 5-year commitment probably, or 4-year or whatever. It's not happening this week. So they're like, yeah, see you later, love. So anyway,
I mean, you can still get shit faced and blow me while drunk and all. It depends.
You know, if she's holding back on that kind of thing, that's where her problem lies.
Imagine it's the same woman.
Yeah. So.
She's waiting for the one and considers it a sacred act.
I mean, you know, that sounds like an interesting thing she's telling herself, but yeah, I mean, you know, that's fine. Lots of people these days are just, you know, antisocial people who stay online all the time and blame people running away because they're saving themselves for marriage. Whatever, it's all good.
Well, she has joined a website called 5 Guys a Week to try to meet the one.
5 Guys a Week?
Yeah.
That sounds like an interesting website.
Back in 2020, she also went on Dr. Phil to discuss her dating struggles.
Okay.
Yeah. So 5 Guys a Week, but our website.
That does not sound like a website where you will find the one.
Well, 35-year-old virgins, you would think that.
It sounds like a different kind of website. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like
your homepage.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Mick Jagger band.
It does. So, you know, I don't know. But yeah. I wish her all the success in finding one of the 5 Guys a Week to be her special one. That's what I hope happens for her, for sure.
Now, what would you do if you won the lottery?
I mean, you know, just enjoy myself, you know.
Other than VIP 5 Guys a Week membership, obviously.
Obviously. I would have a good time. Let's just say that. I would have a good time and burn out slowly.
Hire Mick Jagger for my birthday parties.
Depending on his availability, for sure. But yeah.
Well, a guy in Singapore won the Group 1 lottery, and he became a millionaire overnight. Cool. He said not the $10 million one, but still crazy amounts of money. Now, he was married, but he decided not to tell his wife.
I can see an issue with that.
I did not tell my wife. I hope she never finds out. If she knows, the whole world would know. She just cannot keep secrets. Nobody knows. Overnight, I become a private, privileged client of the bank. I tell them, do not send paper statements to my house. Not that I need to worry. special clients mean special treatment. Most of the $1 million is still there, some in savings, some in equity, other investments. So he allocated his assets and has invested his money. That's the boring part. The interesting part is the money has allowed me to satisfy my fantasy.
Uh-oh.
I know people reading this will curse me. Now that I'm rich, so I have license to keep another woman outside. I only live once, and 99.9999% chance this will be the only time in my life I strike the first prize. So why waste? Winning the lottery proved amazing things can happen to me. Why die? Must think thinking old life. I booked an escort. 4 figures per night.
4 figures.
The quality of the woman is really different from what I see on the street.
Okay.
Or any woman I know, totally different class. She made me feel I'm dating a Hollywood actress. Bedroom skills is like a porno actress. One word, superb.
Okay.
So yeah, this he then cut it off after a few months. It was becoming too expensive. He even rented a condo for her.
All right. So, seems a bit far to be like renting a condo for your escort.
Yeah, you win the lottery. Don't tell your wife. So you just hire a pricey escort and don't tell us.
Wow, that is phenomenal. Yeah, people really are just batshit. But hey, who am I to judge? Yeah, I don't know.
Like he said,
it sounds to me like he feels like he had a special relationship with the escort, and like she was his girlfriend. But really, he was just like renting time like any other customer. And paying for her house and probably lots of other things as well. What a sucker.
Yeah. I mean.
But now I know what I'm going to do when I win the lottery. So. Yeah.
So it's the way to play it.
It's. I mean, I feel like though he's going to eventually be just like he'll go back to his wife. He'll be just like living his normal life again.
No. He's still with his wife and all that. He's doing this on the side.
Yeah, but what I mean is he will be there with his wife and then he'll be like, but this is not the exciting, wonderful fantasy life that I had with that other woman. And it's going to ruin the whole thing. And then she's going to find out about the lottery and sue the fucker. Especially if he's putting it out there. He won it. Like, I'm not going to tell you who I am, but that Lamborghini, that I won that in a raffle at work. Yeah. Jesus. I know. I guess if you win the lottery, you're entitled
to
some crazy shit.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Prostitutes.
You do some crazy shit. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah. Finally, a woman was. This is probably the opposite of that. That guy knew how to manage his money. This woman kind of doesn't. She was scammed by a Russian astronaut who needed money to get back to Earth.
Yeah. I always wonder, how do you meet these people who get scammed from their money so easily? Because, come on, man. He needed money to get back to Earth. Who was he giving the money to?
The scam began back in June of this year when the man contacted the woman, 65, on Instagram and struck up an online relationship with her, as
Sweet.
Russian astronauts do.
Yeah. Very common.
Sending her a number of snaps from the International Space Station. He claimed that he was working there and used the distance and signal as an excuse for intermittent messaging.
Very, very obvious that he was going to have signal issues at the International Space Station. Yeah. Well,
I mean, the best part is, the idea of like faking Like, it's one thing to edit yourself into the Eiffel Tower or something, but edit yourself into, oh yeah, that's me in space.
Here I am, just hanging out at the International Space Station.
Falling in love with 65-year-old women on Instagram.
Yeah. I was on the space station, scrolling through your Instagram. Had nothing better to do than be on Instagram.
This guy's literally hitchhiking from space too.
Nice.
The pair went on to speak online, the application, and then he professed his love to her and then proposed despite never meeting.
Sweet.
Some of the alleged astronauts' messages read, "I want to start my life in Japan," and saying, "This 1,000 times won't be enough, but I'll keep saying it. I love you."
Aw, sweet.
As all Russian astronauts would.
It's a well-known phrase in the Russian community for sure, I think.
Yeah. then they couldn't be together because he was still in space. He then asked the woman to cover the supposed cost of a rocket to Japan and alleged landing fees in the country to the tune of 4.4 million yen, which equates to around $30,000.
That's not bad. It's a good price for landing your rocket.
Well, the woman fell for it and sent the money in 4 installments. But the scammer demanded more money and said it was only at this point that the woman realized what was going on and contacted authorities.
I mean, we're calling him a scammer, but I feel like this is the one time where it's actually genuine. There's a genuine Russian astronaut has been asking for money, and he's just being tagged as a scammer for no legitimate reason. He's just fell in love with someone on Instagram. What's the problem?
To deposit it to return back down to Japan.
Yeah, that's what happens. You can't just like land your rocket somewhere for free. It's crazy. So,
while there hasn't been an official investigation into this type of scam, romance scams fall under the general fraud umbrella.
Yeah.
In the past 5 years, people have reported losing a staggering $1.3 billion to romance scams, more than any other fraud category.
I've lost quite a few dollaroos doing that myself, paying for astronauts to return to all over the world.
Not me. I've got a Ukrainian astronaut that I'm paying for, but they're legit. They send me messages every day.
There you go. It's, when you find the legit ones, that's what it's all worthwhile.
We dance to the moves like Jagger every night.
I do want to know, like, how does this person in 2022 fall for this shit? Like, how do you not know?
How do you send 35 grand to someone and then decide that, oh, maybe this doesn't make sense that they're a Russian astronaut speaking to a 65-year-old Japanese woman and they need money to get back from space?
like a little bit of research would prove that was not probably the way. Yeah, just like...
What research do you need to know that is...
I think what I would do is I would look up the person's name and see, are they currently on the International Space Station? You can find that out. So,
yeah, but I mean, there's got to be like millions of people up there. So we're going to go through every single one of them. Maybe they changed the way they spell their name or something.
I think what you should do is call the International Space Station. Be like, hello.
Is Yuri there?
Yeah, is Yuri available? He asked me for 35 grand. And he's like, if he's legit, he can give you the phone number. So there you go.
Well, I mean, we learned that they have line in space. So if you want to message an astronaut, you need the line app.
Absolutely. They all use that one. So, also, it just makes me think, like, what other shit will people fall for? And how can I make a career out of this?
This makes me think, how do I edit myself into the space station now?
Yeah, it's fair. You know, we can do that. We can do that. you gotta go to like a local community college or something to take a Photoshop course. And they're like, what are your goals? I want to Photoshop myself into the space station so I can scam all ladies on the internet. Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't go down that road.
Well, I think worlds collide when you start to realize that Space Oddity was about a Japanese man sending money to a Russian astronaut male, which was David Bowie's fantasy.
It's all
take your protein pills and put your helmet on.
I mean, what does that mean?
There's dirty connotations to all of that.
There is.
May God's love be with you.
And that's another one. It's another scam altogether, but we'll.
The papers want to know whose shirt you wear. The papers aren't the only ones whose shirt. Oh, they want to know why you're wearing another man's shirt in space.
Yeah. Wait a minute, though. How do you send 35,000 to someone without questioning this kind of thing? I want to know, like, who has 35 grand and has amassed that without asking some critical questions, like, is this for fucking real?
It's someone sitting in a tin can far above the world.
How did they pay him? By PayPal?
He took Bitcoin, so it's all good.
Fine. You know it's legit when it's Bitcoin, so.
Yeah, I mean, I take offense to the fact that not once in the in Space Oddity does it mention that the Earth is flat.
It doesn't. I don't think the scientific research had been done at that point when it was written. So.
Yeah, I mean, he claims to know some astronaut.
Yeah, I don't think we can prove the existence of said astronaut. So there you go.
Well, can we prove that they weren't in a gay relationship?
No, we cannot. So
now, there's been a lot of controversy with like Buzz Aldrin. Like, I believe he punched a guy for questioning if they went to space.
Yeah.
Would he punch a guy for questioning whether he was in love with David Bowie and they had a secret affair?
No. You just accept that. I'd be like, all right, thanks. Yeah.
Like, oh, wow. I mean, bought me, so. Yes.
Well, it's all good.
Yes, I was in a secret relationship with him. Yes. That song is about me. And yes, the shirt I was wearing was his.
Wow. All the details. We've got them all.
Ground Control was actually our role play.
I think there's some details we need to keep from the public on this one.
Ground Control to Major Tom was what they would be saying as they role played David Bowie and Mick Jagger.
It's possible.
You get to be the astronaut today. I want to be brown sugar.
Oh man. It's like there's just so many fan bases coming after us after this episode. Like we're in trouble. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. I think to summarize, yes, they were all having orgies.
Yeah, clearly.
And all of their music is about their gay love.
94% of it is.
You start me up.
Yeah. There's no denying that. You
start me up, I never stop.
Yep, no denying that one.
Give me shelter. Give me shelter from what you need shelter from. I mean, satisfaction is just obvious. Like, I don't get no satisfaction. It's because they're all touring and, they can't be together.
Can't be denied, really, can it? I mean, it's so clear once you know the facts.
When I'm watching my TV and a man comes on, tells me how white my shirts should be. What kind of program were they watching on the TV?
It depends what city they were in at the time, but yeah, it's.
But he can't be a man because he doesn't smoke the same cigarettes as me.
That's true.
Now, smoking cigarettes has been known to be a euphemism for sucking a penis, so I mean,
I don't know, has
it? What, you haven't heard of people talking about smoking pink cigarettes?
No, but I think we maybe have different social circles.
I mean, well, some of us can't get no satisfaction trying to get the right white shirts.
Wait till you get to paint it black. So,
yeah. I mean, if that was painted white, then we would have been really into some.
I mean, yeah.
Painted white would definitely be,
cancelled.
Now, a lot of fashion designers have been known to be of a certain sexual orientation, let's say, maybe statistically more than other things. So when he says, I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes, it sounds like he's focusing more on their clothes than them.
That is true. And he has to, what is the next line? Is like, I turn my head or something. So he's not interested really in the girl.
Yeah, there you go. He's not interested in the women.
Yeah. It's so clear when you break it down and put a certain spin on it.
Yeah. I think that if you read these lyrics, definitely. I
think you can make a case.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there was a famous black door of, I don't know, in their local spa house.
Could have been. Yeah, who knows? There's definitely something going on. You're gonna have to dissect these lyrics now. Next time the Rolling Stones comes on, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, that might be a meaning we hadn't thought about before.
Now, what if? Now this is David Bowie communicating with me from beyond the grave.
Sure.
There's one letter you take out, and then it really changes the entire song. So instead of Black Door, what if it was the back door?
I mean, that changes it a lot.
And they're like, oh, I see the back door and I want to paint it white. And they're like, oh, wait, no. That's too direct. We need to change this and hide the meaning. Amazing song. Love it. Love what it does to me, but we need to change it and make it more subtle. Okay. Black door then. I see a red door and I want to paint it black. It was meant to be, I see a back door and I want it painted white.
There we go. An exclusive reveal of the early version. The early drafts of the song were very different.
Yeah. All they needed to do was change this and that, and then all of a sudden it's not obvious what they were writing about, but like the true meaning behind the song was written, and then they had to like hide what they were actually writing about, because back in those days you couldn't be so open about it.
Sure.
That woman from the book was telling me all about this.
Yeah, she had all the inside vibes. She knew what was going on. Well, on that note, I think we've done enough damage to our own prospects of living another week. Never mind anything else. But yeah, interesting.
Just remember, I see a back door and I want it painted white.
I will never hear that song any differently ever again. So yeah, it's gonna be a strange new world. But
How it's
yeah,
meant to be heard, so
it's got to get out there at some point. So now it's out there. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, man, I will let you go with that one because I need to
listen to Rolling Stones.
Just prepare myself for the rest of my life listening to those songs. But yeah, good show again. And I look forward to doing it all again next week if we're still alive and haven't been hunted down by David Bowie and Mick Jagger fans.
Well, David Bowie's dead, so we're fine there.
I mean, his fans are still... He's quite ferocious.
But we're helping them, so, They're welcome.
That's how I'm going to spin it. Anyway, man, I'm off to find myself somebody who believes that I'm an astronaut who needs money to get home. So, I'll catch you on the next one.